was a second grader. It was a Thursday. It was also show and tell. Well, for show and tell, I wanted to bring in my dogs, so my mom brought them in for me. Everybody got to meet my mom and my dogs. Well, the next day presented itself, and everybody was talking, but I didn't think much of it because, that girl who brought in dogs to school isn't that normal. Well, later that day, this girl came up to me and she was kind of nervous, and she didn't seem like she knew what she wanted exactly, but she was just asking me about my dogs, what breed were they, how old were they, and how long have I had them. Well, it felt kind of strange, and so I asked her if there was any more questions, and she said yes. How come you don't look like your mom? Well, being so young, I didn't really have an explanation for her, and so I just kind of told her, I don't really have an answer. Well, later that night after dinner, I decided to ask my mom, how come I'm the only black one in the house? The next 4 words that came out of her mouth had changed my life forever. She just smiled and looked at me and said, "It's because you're adopted." That didn't shock me as much as I thought it would, because I had always felt like something was different and something was out of place. Later that night, we just sat down and talked about she explained everything to me, about from what it means to be adopted, how that benefits me, and why I was adopted. To begin with, what does adoption mean? According to Royal Greenwich, adoption is a way of providing new families for children who cannot be brought up by their biological parents, which really means a mother and a father go through a series of steps and waiting periods to adopt a child that they did not conceive on their own. It also means my birth mom wanted to give me something more than she could give me herself. My adoption was through an agency, and it was closed. Closed meaning I have no contact with my birth mom until she is ready, but that's okay. It also means I was loved so much by my birth mom that she wanted to make sure I was provided everything in life. That's how I am where I am. Adoption should be every mother's first option if she cannot conceive a baby, and every mother's second option if she does not want that child anymore. Adopting a child is changing the life of someone and giving that child a second chance. In addition, why bring an unborn child into the world if there are many more already born, needing loving moms and dads? Well, the answer is simple. You shouldn't. Adoption happens everywhere, from people to animals to highways and roads. And even if you want to experience the infant years, you can. I was adopted 2 days old, and I was 2 days old when my mom and dad finally got to meet me and bring me home. That's only because a snowstorm had delayed their trip. According to Statistic Brain, if couples decide to adopt more children, the foster care rates will decrease, and that will allow for more room for special cases like children living with alcoholic parents or abusive parents and things like that. AFCRS did a report. That number you are looking at is the number of children in foster care waiting on their permanent family. Only 101,666 of these children are eligible for adoption. But nearly 32% of these children will wait in foster care for the next 3 years waiting to be adopted. However, if you think being adopted is bad or hard, it isn't. My birth mom made sure to find my brother and I the perfect parents. If my birth mom chose to abort us, we would have never had the chance to experience what a loving family is. We would have never known each other and never got the chance to have any pets. By the way, those 2 dogs are the ones we took for show and tell. The top one's Scooby and the bottom one's Betsy. We would have never been able to play sports. That's my brother for the soccer hot shots. Oops. I was the Charlie Angels for T-ball and then cheerleading in 1st grade. We would have never been able to travel the United States as a family and become more knowledgeable of the things around us. That was a Chicago trip. I will forever be thankful for my birth mother's decisions in allowing my brother and I a chance at life. Oprah Winfrey once said, "Adopting a child won't change the world, but for that one child, the world will change." With that being said, if it wasn't for adoption, I wouldn't have had the chances I have had in life. As Dave Thomas, the founder of Wendy's and adopting himself, once said, "Every child deserves a permanent home." and loving family. Having a family means there are people who care about you and will always be there for you. Adoption is a great way to create or add to a family, and that's why adoption is the best option.